Curfew hours and gathering limits have been reduced to contain the spread of COVID-19.
Over the course of the next 2 weeks, we will continue to monitor the situation and determine the measures that will apply effective August 11.
The virus still presents a serious threat to lives, health, and our economy. So please, let's play our part in a responsible way. On the positive side, the tourism sector is experiencing a rebound from air travel, and its impact for the summer period is looking good. Plus, how to apply for your provisional license, all in 30 minutes. Starting now, right here on Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson.
For those of us who do not believe that COVID is real and that it is here, have you been to one of those hospitals where the wards are overflowing with patients who are trying to breathe and talk at the same time, but find it so impossible to do so? Or have you seen someone die in front of you, trying to make the next breath to stay alive? So my fellow Jamaicans and colleagues, whether you believe it or not, COVID is real. So I implore you, social distance. Wash your hands, wear your mask, sanitize. Along with that, we need to keep our immune system nice and healthy, so you drink lots of water, eat your fruits and vegetables. But whether we believe it or not, COVID is here, it is here to stay, it's going to be the new norm. And remember, when you behave irresponsible, you expose all of us. So do the responsible thing.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, July 29, 2021. Residents of Adelphi and its environs in St. James will soon begin to enjoy the services of a new modern health center being built in the community. Construction is close to completion with only minor work left to be done. The Ministry of Health and Wellness will also be paving the grounds of the facility. The project is being undertaken by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, at a cost of more than $40 million. Grant funding was provided by the European Union. The previous building had several challenges, including inadequate office space and sanitary facilities, a leaking roof and a collapsed section of the ceiling, as well as an inadequate sewage management system. The new health center will include a pharmacy, dental offices, sterilization and nebulization rooms, consultation rooms, offices for the public health inspector and for registration and records, restrooms, laundry room, and a lunchroom or kitchenette. The Ministry of National Security is expanding its We Transform mentorship program in 12 volatile communities across Kingston. The program is being administered through the Crime Prevention and Community Safety Unit of the ministry. It will pair at-risk and unattached youth with mentors who are expected to impart valuable life skills and foster the emotional and social development of the young people. The first successful pairing session took place last week, where mentors were encouraged to develop strategic plans to assist the mentees achieve self-actualization. The mentorship tenure is for 1 year, and the program comprises 200 mentors. We Transform was launched in 2018 and continues to focus on the rehabilitation and reintegration of youth offenders within the island's 4 juvenile correctional facilities. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development is reporting that 98% of shelters in Western Jamaica are equipped and ready for any system that may occur in the ongoing 2021 hurricane season. Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie toured several of the facilities in St. Elizabeth recently. He says these shelters meet the requirements stipulated by the Ministry of Health and the Jamaica Fire Brigade.
I want to commend the schools, the principals and the administrative staff for the various schools, not just in Western Jamaica, but in the other parishes that we have visited over the last 6 weeks, that continue to demonstrate a certain level of responsibility in working with the Office of Disaster Preparedness and the municipal corporations in getting ready for the hurricane season.
He says the ministry will also be intensifying its public education campaign on hurricane preparedness through ODPEM and the local authorities. Government is a step closer to increasing the fire service capacity on the island. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie says so far 50% of the fleet of new trucks earmarked for the island have been delivered. The other trucks are on their way.
The government continues to strive to improve your conditions here. Well, 15 trucks are here, and an additional 15 is coming by the end of September.
Minister McKenzie was speaking recently during a tour of the Falmouth Fire Station, which is among those set to benefit from the new trucks. And finally, registered members of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD, are being encouraged to apply for the various benefits available through the organization. Executive Director of the Council, Dr. Christine Hendricks, tells JIS News that registered members can get access to over 200 assistive devices. These include wheelchairs, crutches, and white canes acquired through the Ministry of Finance's We Care program. To get the devices, persons will need to complete an application form available at the JCPD's head office at 18 Ripon Road in Kingston or any of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security's offices island-wide. And Economic Empowering Grant is also available, where persons can access between $30,000 and $150,000 to start a business. Dr. Hendricks says the JCPD is also accepting applications for the Margaret Moody Scholarship, which will close on August 31 for students pursuing studies at the tertiary level. Other benefits available include back-to-school support for children with disabilities at all levels of the education system. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Read a book, magazine, newspaper. Read a book right now or later. Read a book for the higher education. Read a book, oh what a sensation. Read a book, magazine, newspaper. Read a book right now or later. Read a book for the higher education. Read a book, oh what a sensation. Read a book.
The tourism sector is rebounding from the impact of COVID-19 and, more specifically, with the inflow of flights to the island. This will spill over into the summer period with the arrival of visitors and nationals from major destinations.
We are seeing now, with Europe being open, with Canada being open, and the United States open, that Jamaica is going to see that recovery that we have looked for.
The Jamaica Tourist Board, the JTB, is beaming with pride.
We have spared no effort in the marketplace to ensure that Jamaica is positioned as one of the best destinations available to travelers who are ready to travel. We never stopped marketing right through the pandemic, but it is a different type of marketing that enabled us to be able to seed Jamaica as a destination that people wanted to wander about whilst they couldn't travel. Last year, Jamaica and the Tourist Board created more content on the destination than we have ever created any other time in our history.
Destination Jamaica continues to be a top location for summer's sea, sand, and fun. The global pandemic still lingers. However, Jamaica, with its tourism, health, and safety protocols, has become a haven for those wanting to escape the concerning COVID-19 variants and waves. Being outside means relaxation or family trips, which Jamdown offers, and more.
Now we are seeing that the demand for Jamaica is more concentrated and that individual countries have the capacity to drive numbers sufficient to bring an aircraft non-stop into Montego Bay.
Travelers want to come here, and by air, is the easiest route. Hence, JTB is ecstatic that air service partners have said yes to JA.
It's a good signal that the air service, air transportation is well and truly back, having suffered really tough through the period of COVID.
Not one, but several top airlines are flying reggae for the summer. Among the big birds are the Canadian Dreamliner.
When we brought the Dreamliner in from Canada, it also signals something strong, that this is the largest equipment that is in the air out of Canada. And it's coming to Jamaica.
We're from Toronto, Canada, and we took Air Canada. We came to Jamaica. It's our first vacation out of lockdown. We've been to Jamaica many times, and we chose Jamaica because we love the treatment we get here.
Who and you are traveling today?
My husband, my 2 kids, our parents already passed, my sister-in-law already passed, so a whole big group of us.
How long will you be staying?
A week.
A week? What's your expectation?
Just to have fun. Fun in the sun.
Then Condor came with another huge equipment with some 296 passengers, and that's important.
This has been a solid relationship. In terms of this restart, it was finally, because since we reopened again, Condor, of course, was to start in June of 2020, and then it moved from June to October to December to January to March to May to, and finally here in July it's happening, So this is a solid movement because there's hardly any other major connecting point open to the Germans.
So too, TUI UK. TUI UK will operate a total of 88 rotations this summer with between 300 to 345 seats on each, all on board the Dreamliner 787. It is a welcomed addition to the scheduled services that already resumed from London to Jamaica in May with Virgin Atlantic and British Airways, significantly increasing capacity for arrivals from the UK.
This is a game changer in terms of connectivity in the Nordics. Coming from Zurich, which is the money center of the Nordics, if you call it, it's the richest city in that side of Europe, is a big statement that Jamaica is not just seen as a vacation center for the economy class, but is seen also from the well-heeled and the high net worth demographic.
The Jamaica Tourist Board estimates more than 500,000 vacationers during the summer months.
What we are saying is that Jamaica's recovery is not the U-shaped recovery that we had anticipated, but is now a V-shaped recovery. U-shaped means that you start out and then you'll plateau, and then you stay in one area for a while, and then you grow higher. What we have done is to start from literal zero. And the day we began, in all earnest, in January of this year, the graph has been going up.
It is a joyous period for the JTB as the island pushes to recover from economic fallout due to the coronavirus, making partnerships that yield airliners, bringing travelers from across the world safely and efficiently to Jamaican shores for the summer.
Chuck, Minister of Justice, and with the support of the European Union, we intend to build a first-class justice system. The contribution of the European Union to the Jamaica justice system is enormous. We believe that this partnership with the European Union has been beneficial to Jamaica, and we hope that further assessment will demonstrate that the partnership between the European Union and Jamaica is one that has not only been game-changing, but will continue in the years ahead. The most significant achievement, in my opinion, was the Court of Appeal. Appeal was rebuilt. Only 7 judges could have been appointed. Now we can appoint 12 judges, plus the president of the court, and this will ensure that at that level in the Court of Appeal, cases will move expeditiously. It will set the tone for how we engage in backlog reduction.
The process of getting a provisional license, more commonly known as learners, is now online. This is very different to the manual process we're used to, but it's a very efficient, secure and practical way of helping aspiring motorists to understand what is required to become a licensed driver. Let's take you through the online application steps.
Imagine having the freedom to get yourself to where you want to go, when you want to go, and with whomever you want, really. Well, achieving that freedom could very well start with acquiring a provisional or learner's driver's license. And the steps to getting there? Pretty simple. A provisional driver's license permits an unlicensed individual to operate a motor vehicle on the public roads while under the supervision of a licensed driver. Persons can obtain their learner's permit from as early as age 17.
In order to acquire a provisional driver's license, you're going to need to have 3 passport size pictures that are signed by a JP, right? So you need you will need to fill out that application for a provisional driver's license form that must be filled out. Also, you need to show proof of identification, whether it's national ID, passport. If you don't have any of those, birth certificate.
So after you've presented all those documents, it's now time to do the road code test.
The road code test is free. There is no charge. It is easy. Once you have passed, a sealed document will be sent to the tax office. It must not be opened at all. If you open it, you will be tampering with it, and that would cause problems.
But in previous years, doing a road code test was never a requirement in getting your provisional driver's license. So why now?
We want to ensure, you see, that our road safety operations are in alignment with the Great Road Safety Nation and in accordance with United Nations road safety postulates, right? So we have signed on to UN road safety protocols. So we are ensuring that all our operations are in alignment with best practices, and also to ensure that at every step of the way, our population who are learning to drive are empowered.
So let's say you've passed your road code test. There's just one more step or stop to be made before you're handed your provisional driver's license.
Once you pass the free road code test, then you will head to the tax office and you will pay $1,800 for that provisional driver's license. Now, no fees are to be paid at any examination depot, and then you are on the quest to learn to drive. Now, you must ensure that that vehicle that you are operating, right, have the L both at the front and at the back. And the L must have a white background with a red L.
While it's fairly simple, the Island Traffic Authority has put provisions in place for those who may fail the road code test.
Remember now, we have a scheduling system, right? So persons are scheduled, and it depends on whether or not space is available. But oftentimes we try to facilitate as best as possible based on the schedule, right? So it's very important for persons to understand that in order to schedule your road code test, you can send an email to dita@mtw.gov.jm or driver's license @mtw.gov.jm, right? Send an email that you want to do your road code test, and with supernatural speed, you will get a response. I assure you, you'll get a response in less than 24 hours. For example, you have a driver's license to operate a motor car and you want to operate a truck, right? Learn to drive a truck. You do not need to come and get a provisional driver's license. Go back to the process again. Since you already have a driver's license to operate a car, what you need to do now, put the L on the truck, the front and the back. So your driver's license now serves as a provisional driver's license, right? So because you'd have already gone through that step already. So, and just in case you also want to operate a motorcycle, you would then ensure the L is on the vehicle, both at the front and at the back, and then that driver's license you use as the provisional driver's license.
And just like that, you are now the holder of your very own provisional driver's license.
Concerned about uncollected garbage at home? Do you see garbage piling up on the streets? Then report it. Use the National Solid Waste Management Authority's mobile app to report instances of littering, illegal dumping, and uncollected garbage. From anywhere and at any time, be an environment warden by informing the authority of unsightly solid waste. You will be notified when your report has been received by the NSWMA, as well as when the matter is resolved. Download the app from the iOS or Android app stores by typing in NSWMA. Play your part, as Jamaica's beauty is everybody's duty.
It was no secret that tighter COVID-19 containment measures were coming if the number of new cases continued to rise. So on Monday, it was announced, and we have the highlights.
Based on the rapid increase that we are seeing in all our key indicators, it is clear that we need to act now. The COVID-19 Subcommittee of Cabinet met on Saturday to discuss adjustments to the measures, and the full Cabinet considered the proposed changes today. The following changes to the measures will apply for the 2-week period from Tuesday, July 27, 2021 to August 10, 2021. Let's start with the curfew hours. Effective July 27, the curfew hours will be adjusted as follows. On Mondays to Saturdays, the curfew hours will be from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. the following morning. On Sundays and public holidays, the curfew hours will be 3 p.m. to 5 a.m. the following morning. On Monday, August 2, Emancipation Day will be observed as the holiday. So that means that the curfew will start at 3 p.m. and end at 5 a.m. on Tuesday. For Friday, August 6th, which is our Independence Day, the curfew will begin at 3 p.m. and will end at 5 a.m. on Saturday, the following day. And the strategy behind it is to limit movement. And therefore, in tightening the curfew hours, we limit movement times. And obviously, everyone would understand why we would seek to have tighter curfews on public holidays and on Sundays. While we have not mandated closing hours for businesses, we would expect that establishments will generally close 1 hour before curfews to allow employees and patrons to be able to get public transportation or otherwise to go home. We've also put in place tighter operating hours for beaches and rivers as follows. Mondays to Saturdays, beaches and rivers will be open from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Sundays and public holidays, beaches and rivers will be open from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, reduced capacity. Effective Tuesday, July 27th, the 70% capacity limit that applies to these establishments will be reduced to 50%. Also, the capacity limit for small events will also be reduced from 60% to 50%. Therefore, the number of persons permitted at a small event will be still 100 persons or 50% of the venue capacity, whichever is lower. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, we will continue to monitor the situation and determine the measures that will apply effective August 11. Our focus in crafting those measures will be on trying to control spread sufficiently to allow us to reopen schools to facilitate structured face-to-face learning in September. That is an imperative for the government and indeed for all the parents and children who have had a really very difficult time during this pandemic. We ask for the understanding, the compliance, and the diligence, care and caution of every Jamaican. Together, we can pull through this.
Jamaica, we are in the throes of a pandemic. COVID-19 cases are on the rise. COVID-19 related deaths are climbing. COVID-19 bed capacity at our hospitals has been maxed out. Yet still, some of us continue to flout the COVID-19 containment measures. Some of us still refuse to wear masks in public places. We still gather in groups of more than 10. We still break the curfew hours. And we still attend illegal parties. Wise up! Take responsibility for your health. Safeguard the health of your loved ones. Obey the COVID-19 protocols.
This is where our journey ends, but only for today. Do join us again tomorrow when we'll bring you another informative program. In the meantime, stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.